Hello everybody, today we're going to be taking a look at a scenario where civilization starts over. We are on the first episode of the series, and quick shout out to Adis Pro for creating this series. And yeah, let's go ahead and start, because I hate editing. And we're going to be starting civilization over here where like Bangkok is in real life. And let me turn down the tolerance. There we go. And they're just going to be expanding around here, well, exploring. The white stuff is explored land, and the gray stuff is unexplored land. And they're just going to continue to explore, eventually reaching the Bay of Bengal. And eventually, they are going to settle down. Not before they discover a little bit more, though. And boom. Ta-da. And they are going to settle down right here, creating kind of like a Thailand, Burma nation. Thailand, Myanmar. This is more Thailand, I'd say. Yeah, this is Thailand. So yeah, country right here. Alrighty. There's also going to be another civilization, and it will be over in India. It's going to be like down here. It's going to be right here. Going to look like that. Well, that's how much has been discovered right there by the Indians. And then they're going to settle down and create a nation that looks like this. Heading back over to the red team, they are going to send out a bunch of scouts over here, but it is very jungly in Southeast Asia, so they're not going to have the best of times. They're just going to stop exploring once they reach like all of this, as jungle is not very fun to, well, go through. But they will continue to expand down this little peninsula, I don't know what it's called. And eventually they will discover about all of this land. Till it looks like that. And they'll also discover all of this. So yeah, they've discovered a lot of land, and they are going to be taking some of said land, with claiming all of this, taking over this, as well as heading up here, and, well, claiming this as well. So the red team eventually looks like this. So yeah, they were looking pretty big, but now, well, actually, first I just remembered something that I probably should do. Alright, so yeah, this is unexplored water. And so we can color in the explored water on this map. And the light blue is the explored water. So that will look like this for over here. And then it will also look like that. So boom. Ta-da. And then let's go look at the blue team. They are going to continue to explore around here. Look a bit like that. And also discovering a bit of Kathiawar, which I'm pretty sure is what this peninsula is called. You know, they'll discover all of this bay right here. And the water explorers, these guys are pretty, like, they are good with their water technology. A lot better than the red team. So they have explored about all of this, probably. You can just see the distance that they have traveled compared to the red team. And they are going to claim a bit of this piece right there. And also heading down here and taking all of this land, as they are mainly sticking to the coastline, like most nations did around this time. Alright, well, I'm going to create 2 new layers. And whenever someone creates 2 new layers inside of a Wixo series, you know what that's going to be. Major cities and capital cities are now going to be introduced. It's going to be a few major cities. One right here. One right here. One right there. For the blue team, they're going to have one right here. And one right here. The red team's capital is going to be over here in Bangkok. The blue team's capital is going to be up here. So, yeah. But the red team is really focusing down here for exploration. And eventually they're going to be able to discover all of this peninsula. And even discovering a bit of Sumatra. I'm pretty sure is what this island is called. And yeah, the water travel looks like this. So boom. Also, the water is discovered a little bit more. Oh, hold up, wait. Also, all of this should be discovered from water. And yeah, they discovered that entire bay right there. And they also explore up into Myanmar, taking about that much land. And also heading inward a little bit, not too much though, because they do not like exploring into that. Oh god, that's bright. And this is what we see the red team looking like, and they are expanding very quickly. But now we can go look at the blue team. And yet again, they are going to expand and explore. And well, it's a lot easier to explore India than it is Southeast Asia, so they are going to have a pretty, well, easier time exploring these areas. And eventually, about all of this will be discovered by them. And for water, a lot more will be discovered. As they discover and take over about all of this land. And even discover Sri Lanka, but don't really explore the land. And of course, they have to expand their land. Oh, hold on, wait, that's kind of rhymes. Ooh! Okay, that looks better. But we are actually going to be seeing yet another new nation appear. It's going to be up here in China, on this peninsula. And well, I really like myself some peninsulas. And yeah, they will discover about all of this land, looking something like that. And their color, you may be asking, which I know none of y'all are asking. Well, it's just going to be lime. So boom, they now look like that. And the red team is going to be able to explore all of this, which is basically the entirety of Southeast Asia. So yeah. And that wasn't the best idea, and I'll show you why soon. But they will be able to take over some more land, like claim it for themselves. They will be taking over all of that. And why is this a bad thing, you may ask? Well, it's because the people are not very happy, and they are going to rebel. This rebellion is going to be a purple rebellion over here in Vietnam. And I'm going to create a river. I'm going to turn the river borders. So you can see if it should just like follow a river. That is exactly what I'm going to do. They are going to look like this, which is basically just actual Vietnam. But do I care? Nope. And we need to give these two new nations their capitals and major cities. So Vietnam will have a major city right there and right here. And then China will have one right here and right there. Also, one new major city right there and right there. Well, I said one, but I meant two. And then another one right here and right there. So it'll be like, India is very populated right now, I'd say. Probably the most populated. So that's why they have the most major cities. And then the capitals of these new nations. The purple team will have their capital right there. And then China will have their capital right here. Boom. Alright, well, I think it's about time that I bring in religion into play. And these two nations, we can look at their religion, which is just going to be the red religion. But then the blue team, their religion is going to be, you guessed it, the blue religion. And then the Chinese will have their own religion, but you actually won't guess what color this is going to be. Lime. Yeah. So this basically just follows the borders of them, but hey, that's just how it is. Now we're going to be going back to the blue team, and they are going to continue to expand. Unlike the red team, however, they are nice to their people when they expand, and the people like it when their country expands. So they expand a lot. But yeah, take about discover all that. That can basically just show you how much land they are going to discover. with them discovering about all of this land, which is pretty big, if I did say so myself. And they are going to be taking over all of Sri Lanka. Let me turn rivers. Any rivers down here? Yes, there are. But I don't really think we should use that right now. You'll see why. They will take over about all of this land. So it's a little bit more up here. But they are as focused up there. They're more focused on the south. Taking over the entire Indian peninsula. God, why there's so many peninsulas in South and just Asia in general. But the reason why I said you'll see why earlier is because well, there is a brand new nation that is going to appear here, and it is going to be like a dark green nation, and it will be yes, this is what it's going to be like. So boom. And the backstory behind these guys is that, well, they just wouldn't form their own nation because they have their own religion. So we actually need to update that. First, let's go ahead and update the blue team's thing, which is all blue. And then right here, we can select the green team. And boom, they have their own religion. We're not straying too far away. We are actually going to see the red team finally meet up with these guys. They're like, whoa, who are y'all? And they're like, no, who are you? But they don't speak the same language. So they're like, they're not being very nice to each other. They're saying very mean things inside their own religion. Not their own religion, their own language. There we go. And they almost go to war, with the red team deciding to be greedy and take over all of this. But hold on, wait, make that look better. They will take over about all of this land, just to try to like make the green team mad. It's like, yo, and they will go ahead and take over this land. So the red team and the green team are already off on bad relations. Good job, guys. Humanity is such a good species. We're like such good creatures. Now I think it's about time we go back up to China, which we haven't really checked much, as they are going to discover the entire Yellow Sea. I'm pretty sure is what this is called. As well as a lot of the Korean Peninsula, actually the whole thing. Discovering about this. So yeah, they're discovering a lot of land very quickly. And eventually, it looks something like this. So yes, very nice. And they are going to, well, take over land, because that's what you do as a nation. That's what they're going to take over. But there will also be another new nation that appears right here in the side of Korea. Sorry, I'm blinking for a second. And they are going to look like this, also owning that island. So yeah. And yet again, it's time to give major cities and capital cities. These guys' capital, well, no, they'll have major cities right there. So I'll actually put a major city right there instead. And then for the Koreans, theirs will be right there. And right there. The capital for the Koreans, it's just going to be on this river right here. And then the green team's capital will be right there. So yeah, everybody is 100% happy inside of this world. I'm being sarcastic. And we can go check up on Vietnam, as they are going to actually manage to discover all of this land, as well as just a bit of the water. as there's not much land to discover right here. And we are actually going to turn on rivers for this border right here, as they are just going to expand to this river right here, kind of creating their border on like the real life border where Lao is, and heading up here as well, taking over all of this. So yeah, Vietnam has become pretty big, and the red team obviously doesn't like that, so they are going to also expand around here, taking over that. And the red team is really the only nation with like real enemies, because of course the purple team, they broke away, so of course they don't like them, and they just don't like the green team for absolutely no reason. And sticking on the topic of the red team, they are going to do a bit of naval exploration, discovering about all of this land, which means that they had to discover that, as well as this in a boom map. This island, Sumatra, it's getting explored pretty quickly, with just taking over a little bit right here around the Strait of Malacca, and they do not know how useful that will be in the future. As well as them taking over these islands that I cannot remember their name. It's, yeah, boom, ta-da. I think I'll just give them these islands right now. Now, going away from Asia, we're going to see a new nation pop up on a completely different continent. And that's actually going to be over here in the Americas, with a nation popping up down here. Nope. A nation will pop up down here in the southern United States, taking over all of Florida, and heading into Georgia and the Carolinas a little bit. We're going to see a brown team appear right here in Florida. So yeah, ta-da! Oh, also one new nation. It's going to be over here in like Denmark and like the Netherlands right here. They're going to be able to discover all of this. And well, I just said there's going to be a new nation, so there has to be a new nation. So yeah, we see the orange nation appear right here. And that's kind of ironic because this is basically like the Dutch. Now we're actually going to be looking over here as the lime team and the Koreans, they do not like each other. And well, they're going to have a huge disagreement over like the borders of these areas. And well, they are going to go to war. So yeah. And in case you're wondering what the border dispute was, Korea claimed all of this land right here. Oh god. And the lime team claimed all of this land right here. So yeah. Both of them claimed this, which isn't very good, in case you didn't know. And over this tiny little piece of land, well, they're going to go to war over it. Because that's just what people like to do. Oh, also, the lime team, for some reason, just didn't claim this right here. So the Koreans own this. So just creating a bit of gore. And well, yeah, we can see what this war is going to look like. And we can see the lime team start to expand into here, putting their troops into there. And then also the blue team taking over that. And this is just looking very fun, isn't it now? And the blue team is going to start to push into the lime team. However, the lime team is going to head into here, taking over a lot of this. About going around here and attempting to encircle these troops, which isn't going to go very well, as the blue team is actually going to encircle them. And yeah, this is looking very nice, as the blue team also starts to expand into here. And eventually, the war is just going to get even more gross and just gory, with the lime team still expanding down here, take over that, but the Koreans also take over this and trap them, but also expand into here a little bit, and it's just terrible. And eventually, they're just going to decide to sit down and divide up this area. So we can look at that treaty. And this is what we see the peace treaty looking like. And the Koreans did get most of the land here, but the Lion team also got this because that's where their military was when the peace treaty was happening. So yeah, there's already an exclave. And I just realized I've been recording for 30 minutes. So that's going to do it for today's episode on What If Civilization Started Over. If y'all did enjoy, please make sure to like and subscribe, because yeah, and I will see y'all in the next video.